Okay, guys. Good audience members.
Okay, so our group decided to research into the impact of extracurricular activities on academic, social, and physical improvement. So, why academic activities? Extracurricular activities, sorry. It has a direct link to student behavior and attendance. This is the positive shown. There's a clear academic correlation, so the more you participate in these, through various reasons that we'll go into later, it helps you academically. Health benefits through sports and things of that nature, as well as social improvement, the feeling of being a part of something, or a teammate, and having a group rely on you. It helps, especially nowadays when people can afford to be a lot less social and still do decent in the world. It's more important than, yeah, it helps a lot with that.
Our group chose to research this because we each had a connection to extracurricular activities, and we all felt that we, at our school, they try and branch everything out, but there are certain areas that are lacking. Personally, I'm in the music and theater department, and I don't necessarily, and so are these two boys, and we don't necessarily feel that all the funding or attention is directed onto us as compared to sports. But then as we started researching, I think our focus was more towards those two topics, like the difference that sports get than the arts program. And as we started researching, we realized as a whole, it's all very important, and we started to see success in students, academically, socially, health, like he said, and with that students that did participate in adequate extracurricular programs. So it really more came back to the school putting into the effort to let these kids have the options.
And we also found that while we thought that music programs got cut more than like a sports or a football team, we found that in most schools that had a cut music program, their sports teams were also lacking because they just didn't have the funds to support any of the groups.
So the art and music programs really help benefit the kids because it allows them with stress relief, and that really they have an outlet to go and play music. Sports also do this, but arts and music also gives a creative outlet, so they can go and they can be creative with their music. They don't it's not like math where it's this is the correct answer and there's nothing else. In music, there's multiple answers. You can do lots of different things.
You can present your craft in multiple ways. For instance, the North Chorus, they have a musical every year. The marching band, on the other hand, we do a very large production on a football field. And while they're very different, we all benefit from this because we are being able to present our craft in ways that entertain the community. And we're benefited by this by surrounding ourselves in peers who also enjoy this craft.
So health improvements. I was actually especially interested in this because I participate in athletic extracurricular activities. This is the boys cross country team. I think this was a few years back. But many diseases in the country are on the rise, especially obesity, cardiovascular disease, and many cancers. And these diseases all have one thing in common. They're all stem from unhealthiness and an unhealthy lifestyle, whether it be eating or physical activity, or mostly a combination of the two. So when you've got people counting on you to make the right decisions food-wise and to work out and to stay physically fit, like in a sports team, then it really adds more to it. You're not, if I were to go home and then not work out and eat unhealthily, then it wouldn't just be affecting me, it'd be affecting my team as well. And so having this kind of net to keep you in line and all these people counting you, it's been proven to help tremendously. As well as adding competition also helps, because if you're not motivated, if you're not working towards something, then it hurts. Then there's not as much motivation.
And I don't remember where this is from, but there's a phrase that suggests that what habits you develop now, they carry on to your adult life. So if you're doing and participating in sports now, you're probably going to work out more as an adult, and that will help you not get the diseases and cancers that come from not exercising.
And
Sorry.
sports also are open to everyone. Everyone can participate in them. I remember when we got on Sports Center and T started the game. That was very significant, and it shows that anyone can participate in the sport. So by increasing the funding, you're allowing more students to gain these health benefits that they wouldn't necessarily get at a poorly funded school.
Just to add on what Jacob said about how it carries on your habits now, carry on to your future later. Not all kids grow up in a household that necessarily eats the best and makes sure they go out and get exercise, and that's fine. We all come from different places, but the school providing these programs gives kids that may have not ordinarily grown up on the healthiest path, which would impact them later, have that option. And I think that's really important, especially, we see like a rise in obesity in America right now. I mean, that's our biggest thing. And if schools put more of an emphasis on, you should really join these sports and it's going to be great, and we have those options for kids and we make it enjoyable, then I think it's just overall going to help the health of America, and I think it's a good option to have.
So next, attendance benefits. Of course, there's rules in place for many extracurricular activities that if you don't show up to school, then you cannot participate. And this really motivates people to attend school and do well in school as well, because there's more rules that make you have a certain GPA. And so if you're feeling like you're not contributing to society by coming to school, then having like the feeling of people counting on you, whether it be a team or a club or a band, it adds same with the sports, it's a net to keep you in line. And then of course, the feeling of having friends at school that if you're getting together with people who share your interests and you're working with them and you're having fun with them, then you're going to develop friendships, and then these friendships will encourage you to show up to school, thereby boosting attendance.
Our school has a very strict attendance policy necessarily. Well, with the sports and academics or your extracurricular programs, like for show choir last year, if you did not attend, and I think this is for clubs across the board, if you do not attend more than half the day of school, like if you were out for more than half a day, you can't come to practice that day. And for a lot of teams, their personal rule is if you don't come to practice, you can't participate in a game. I know I didn't miss a Tuesday or Thursday at all last year because I know that show choir depended on me to go. GPA at our school, I think if you are failing, I think they changed it this year, two classes, then you cannot participate in sports or your extracurriculars. And for kids that are excited about their extracurriculars and they know what they're doing and they love it, they're going to be more motivated to come to school because of that and do their best and try and keep up their grades so that they're able to participate. To whereas kids who don't have that kind of motivation or something that they're working for may not always put 100% in.
So it has academic benefits. I mean, besides the study showing correlation between their academic benefits, like this one, which was done actually in Finland, I believe, shows that people who participate in rugby and rowing score higher on tests than people who do no sport. And I'm sorry, soccer players, if there's any in here, there's kind of not a correlation there. But for the most part, there's a correlation between sports and academic benefits.
Of course, this also helps on college transcripts. The ability to say that you participated in something, colleges will look for this and create this, and then you can thereby boost your academic learning throughout later years in your life.
And it shows that you're dedicated to a group, which colleges look for. They want to make sure that you're dedicated into their program. So by dedicating yourself now, and by schools giving you this chance to dedicate yourself, you are seen as more appealing because you're going to stay dedicated to your studies.
Piggybacking on that, if you do an extracurricular, you're generally better at time management because you have to do your schoolwork, and then you've got to go do your extracurricular, then you've got to do your schoolwork. And if you can't balance those properly, you're probably not going to be, as appealing to colleges because they want somebody who, knows what they want to do.
Okay, and then social benefits. I think we touched on this earlier a little bit, but it really helps with the ability to make friends, as well as allows for increased teamwork skills, which are priceless in the job market. You're constantly being required to work in groups and to collaborate, and so having this these skills to work as a team, even when maybe you're not doing so good, or maybe when you're doing great. This is a way to adapt and to figure out how to work with others and still succeed is priceless, as well as the increased chances of making friends. And I explained this a little bit earlier, that when you're with people who share your interests and you're doing what you like to do, then, I mean, friendships are going to develop.
And this gives students who don't necessarily have common interests, if they have a club, like I know we have a video game club here.
Oh, John!
Okay, good job. Go ahead and